right. Hey, everybody. So we were supposed to have a Harvey City Council meeting tonight. As expected, it was canceled. And as Amanda uh, Askew was kind enough to report for us, um, there wasn't even, she didn't see anybody at City Hall, and there wasn't even anything posted. And remember, that's in our city code, we're supposed to be having 2 meetings every month. In November, we had none. And this was supposed to be one of our meetings, second and fourth Mondays of the month. So, yeah. However, since Mayor Clark is MIA and we have no leadership from the 4 Alder yes men, the city crisis is just, I don't know. I guess they're just not doing anything. They're waiting, hoping for a state bailout. Excuse me. So I was able to go cover the Harvey School Board District 152 meeting tonight, which covers most of the city of Harvey, a little bit of Markham. It's the K through 8 schools, public schools. So, they're always in the top 3 as far as on our property tax bills in, the amount of taxes that we pay. Always way too much, paying way too much. So let us take a look here and see. I wanted to show you guys how that went. I think I posted a link to the agenda. I'll pull that up again real quick. Okay. So this is the agenda for tonight. My biggest concern was right here. The committee recommends approval of the 2025 final tax levy resolutions. Basically figuring out, okay, are they increasing our property taxes or not? And sounds like they are, but I still wasn't exactly clear. I'll play the public comment and the responses, but I still wasn't exactly clear on what the rate is. And I didn't really feel like we had much of an opportunity as residents to, first of all, know very, very clearly and obviously what the tax rate should be for next year, but also have time to consider that, look at everything on paper, that you could download easily off the public website, and then to give feedback. So I don't like the process. It's not transparent enough. That was the biggest item. Let's see, the second page. Oh, the Educational Foundation Gala. I think I had already said the other night, I'm wondering where that money goes that they raise. I wonder how accountable that is, because that's separate from the actual public school district. There were no FOIA requests. I think it was me and maybe one other public comment. And then they went into executive session. I didn't stay because I wasn't expecting anything super interesting. And I just didn't have time to stay, all night tonight for that. So let me pull up the video here. I think the first part. Sorry, for some reason, I don't know why it's so low. Hello. So when I came in, I guess they were, and I don't think this was on the website, but I guess they were having a finance committee meeting. So I kind of caught the end of that, but so this is a little bit of that. I'll play that for you guys.
Decided to use one of the field and build by saying the field necessary. Wouldn't we still have to do something with the actual building?
Yes, and so that's why. So then you would take this one out. That's a great question. So that's the 7.1 for you.
So when I came in, it sounded like they were talking about demolishing and or maybe constructing some new facilities in the district. I know we have Sandberg Elementary. That whole building is being unused. That's in North Harvey. And then Fields was demolished last year, and I didn't agree with how they did that. I don't think that was done properly or with enough public feedback. Um, but what was the other school? Oh, this school, Riley, that they used for the district office, but it was used for pre-K, but now I don't know what it's used for other than the district offices. So we have Miss Linda here, Teresa Cameron, Linda. I'm blanking on her last name right now. This is Janet Rogers. So she is the wife of Harvey Alderman Tyrone Rogers, that you may know with the gray hair. Who has yelled a lot. Um, and he's been involved in many many scandals over the years in Harvey. This is Myra Gardner. This is the superintendent, Reginald Lawrence. This lady, I think, is over special ed. And then Dana Nichols is, I believe, she's over finance.
Construction, and then you have to go back and apply the amount to abate into blue law. So you would combine those two amounts. And when you look at combining those amounts, it's still cheaper than renovating an existing facility.
And they always will say that, even though it's not always true. They'll always tell you, "Oh, it's just cheaper to demolish everything and build new." And I don't think that's always. I know that's often not true. But construction contracts alone are things that, they don't get nearly enough scrutiny from these public boards, and that's usually, unfortunately, that's how they make a lot of their money, and it's made in ways that are not good off of you and me, basically. So yeah.
Miss Nancy,
Um, how much are we spending on Sandberg now, just with bills and everything?
I don't have that off the top of my head, but I can get that because we are site based, so our budget is broken down by each school has its own account number for all the bills. So I can pull that.
And then also, is there a deadline or a timeline as far as how long the school can be empty, not used as a school, or
Oh, sorry. Let me let it buffer for a second. Maybe it's just because it just uploaded recently. Since I got home just a bit ago.
just until we delete?
Yeah. 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 Any other
Oh, and
questions?
I'm sorry. And this is Miss Nesbitt, Casey Nesbitt. She is also your Thornton Township clerk. So you recognize her maybe, as she's a lady that sits to the right of Napoleon, on Napoleon's right. Napoleon Harris, the supervisor. So Miss Nesbitt is on the 152 school board. She, I think she works for MWRD, is clerk for the Thornton Township, which is an elected position, and then she also serves in DOTS, Democrats of Thornton Township. So she's very active.
So you guys have a lot of going. I think we need to take a look at this and maybe have another meeting next month to take a look at finance committee. Yeah. But let's go to the regular meeting in case you guys can find something at the regular finance and then bring it in to the finance as a whole. You guys can kind of broaden it down and bring it down. It's gonna take a lot of reading. When I first time seeing it, so it's good, and I think it's just asking about it for months, so we got it. Yeah. So
once again, the whole purpose of today was to share the data, give you all an opportunity to comb through it, absorb it. Feel free to
Miss Casey's eyeing me over there.
contact me if you have any questions. If you need me to walk you through it during the time outside of the meeting, I can make myself available for that. And then during the next time, committee of the whole meeting, we need to talk about how we're going to move it.
Hmm. Oh my God. Sorry, you guys. I don't know why it's taking, I don't know why it's buffering like that. Give it a minute. Oh my God, this is gonna kill me. It better not keep buffering like this. Now I had just gotten there. I probably should have asked a question, but I didn't. I was setting up the camera and everything.
We're now going to close session. We need to go into closed session for this product. Okay, this time, chair will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. So, all in favor? Aye. It is now 5:53. The finance committee will hold. We'll start our regular meeting in about 8 minutes, 7 minutes.
Okay. So then that meeting dismissed. I don't think there's that much more to see with that. Let's fast forward here. Yeah, so again, Miss Gardner, she was the president, but now Janet's the president again. I think this is the same board. I have to double check to see, but I believe it's all of the same members on this board as when the chicken wing scandal crisis occurred, including Miss Nesbitt for sure, and Janet Rogers. They were definitely on this board when that happened. And to remind you, if you had not heard of that, that was when $1.5 million or so of chicken wings were discovered somehow. Someone found out that they were stolen, and we never really got an explanation of who, what, when, where, and why, except one lady named Vera, who was a lunch worker, went to jail. And I don't think, no one is convinced that Vera did that all by herself. One lady, no matter how talented you are, could do that. So yeah, that's this board for you. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. Let me find the main meeting. my lord, this is gonna kill me if it. All right, let me let it rest for a minute. Hopefully, then it won't buffer as much. Okay. Shall we try now? Okay. Oh, and there's Joe Whittington. Okay, that's right. I forgot because Joe. The room layout's really awkward. I don't like this room for the meetings. It's super awkward. I honestly, I wish they would just hold them in the gym. The gym is a large room, and they could easily do it. I don't know why they don't use the gym, but so Joe, what he did work for senior services at the city. I think though they were laid off as part of the layoffs. But anyway, he was alderman of my ward, the second ward. Not let's see, before Colby it was Marshawn Tolbert, and then it was Joe before that. Um, and I like Joe. Like he's very pleasant to talk. There's a lot of great things to say, but unfortunately, he along with probably Linda, Teresa, Sandra, who was absent that night, even to a certain extent, Myra, I feel like they just don't. They kind of go along with whatever the other people on the board want. Who else would be left? What, Casey and Janet Rogers, but especially Janet is very, very, dominating and domineering, and she pretty much has dominated this board for years. And her husband Tyrone, who is alderman, was on the board. We as taxpayers had to pay $400,000 settlement because a former superintendent saw some financial irregularities, she said, and she wanted to get a forensic audit. And Tyrone and Janet and the rest of the board, got mad and didn't want that. Why wouldn't you want a forensic audit? Why wouldn't you want to show people how you're spending money? Oh, wait, does that sound familiar? Does that sound like Thornton Township? Like the last meeting when I spoke up and they attacked me? So the former superintendent sues Tyrone Rogers because supposedly he said he was going to beat her ass or something. But yeah, she accused Tyrone of, threatening her physically because she was asking for an audit, which is ridiculous, and I mean, ridiculous that he would make a threat. But yeah, so we had to pay that big settlement. That's just one of the many scandals of this board over the years.
Wait, sorry, clarification. Are we doing a roll or the vote? Aye. Ms. Hawkins? Ms. Cameron? Aye. Ms. Gardner? Aye. President Rogers? Aye. Let the record show the people that are present here today. All board members are present today.
And there's Miss Beth. Hey, Miss Beth. Thank you for stopping by. You couldn't see her, but Diana D Love was next to me too.
Correspondence? No correspondence. President's report, there's no president report. We did the ISP, sorry, I'm gonna give it, Mike, I'm gonna just let them know that we have both that ISP on our social security. We voted together, we're all in favor. Recommendation. Board of Education meeting minutes, our regular Board of Education meeting minutes for November 10th, 2025.
How's that?
I'm sorry, you guys, that this is Buffering.
Ms.
So
Hawkins? Ms.
with
Nesbit?
that being said, we'll continue to move.
Ms. Gardner? President Rogers? Aye. Motion carried. Business operations report.
All right, good evening, everyone. The business office report for the month of November 2025. In your packet, on the first page outlines the revenue received for the month in the amount of $2,109,000 for a total year-to-date of $10,898,000. The expenses paid for the month of November, $2,483,000, a total year-to-date of $9,936,000. Moving to page 2.
Now, again, what is this thing about reading off number? I want to see it. I want to see it presented. We pay a ton of tax money. I want to see this on paper. I want to see everything on the website before the meeting so we have time to review it. I want to see it projected when we're there in person so we can see it. But yeah, I don't know what this thing is. They do that, the McCaskills do that, the library and the parks. And I did really disagree with that. It's like that's not sufficient. Plus, again, we should not have to FOIA and bug these boards for actual invoices, receipts, and bank statements, because I could make up any numbers. I could say, today I received $2,534,721.71. Sounds exact, right? But that was just a total lie I made up. Without receipts, it means nothing.
The unaudited beginning fund balance was $37,652,000. Considering the $10 million revenue, $9 million expenditures, our current fund balance is at $38,614,000. When we look at the budget, we have actually received 32.7% of the total revenue that we budgeted, and we've spent 29.9% of the expenditures that were budgeted. Moving to page 3, this compares our current revenues and expenditures to the previous year. For our revenue,
that's another pet peeve of mine. Why do board members have a packet and we don't? Why isn't this online before the meeting? Page 3, moving on to page 3. We don't see anything. And we're the ones that pay the bills. We're the ones that are the most important.
We are down by $2.6 million compared to last year. And for our expenditures, we are spending $1.8 million less compared to last year. The fund balance report, which is on the last.
Okay, so then why did we vote to increase property taxes? I mean, it sounds good. You're spending less, but 1.8 million less. But then why did we vote to increase our property taxes that are already insanely high?
That page reflects our total operating balance for our education, O&M, transportation, and working cash funds at $33,736,000, and our remaining funds at $4,878,000 for a total fund balance of $38,614,000. That concludes the business operation report for the month of November. Administration recommends approval.
So, second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Whittington.
Aye.
Ms. Nesbit.
Aye.
Mr. Gardner.
Aye.
Ms. Cameron.
Aye.
Ms. Hawkins. President Rogers.
Motion carried.
Again, no discussion of finances, no questions, and the public has no idea what they were looking at.
There are 4 accounts payable. The grand total was $1,045,999. Administration recommends approval.
So moved. Second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Whittington.
Aye.
Ms. Gardner.
Aye.
Ms. Nesbit.
Aye.
Ms. Hawkins. Ms. Cameron.
Aye.
President Rogers.
Motion carried.
For the month of November, there were 5 payrolls that totaled $1,296,659.35. Administration recommends approval.
So moved.
Second.
Call roll, please.
Ms. Hawkins. Ms. Cameron.
Aye.
Ms. Gardner.
Aye.
Ms. Nesbit.
Yeah.
The business operation report for the month of December 2025.
Thank you. Committee report.
Again, everyone, the Finance Committee met on November 24th, 2025. Present was board members Casey Nesbit, Myra Gardner, administration, Dr. Lawrence, Dr. Nichols, and Ms. Garcia. The meeting was called to order at 4:18. The first item was the October 2025 Student Activity Report, which has an end balance of $8,443.22. The next item was the FY26 audit update. The auditors have received everything that they are requested, and we are expecting them to close the audit out hopefully by next week. The next item is Public Act 103-0394. This is a mandatory requirement that we share our current fund balance with the Board of Education every year. The fund balance cannot exceed 250%. We are currently at 114%. Therefore, we are in compliance and we do not have to develop a spend down plan. The next item is the 2025 final levy resolution.
No spend down plan. Okay, but then why are you increasing our taxes?
Resolution is required to be on public display for 20 days. We have met that requirement. The resolution, along with the levy certificate, is in your packet for approval this evening.
Okay, so where was it on display for 20 days? Because remember, all the boards have to approve the tax levies this month before the end of the year. So that's what they're talking about. If they want to get your tax money next year.
The next item is the 2026 open enrollment and health insurance rates. The rates were reviewed. We are expecting an 18% increase in medical, 13% for dental, and approximately 7% for vision. The matching grant from the state of Illinois, where they provide us with $50,000, and we have in the grant, which will be the phase 3 HVAC upgrade at Brooks. The next item is the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Grant. We are excited to announce that we were awarded $100,000 from the state of Illinois with this grant. We're just waiting for the check in the mail. The next item is the ComEd LED light upgrade. We have been upgrading the lights throughout the district, in the gym, as well as in the parking lot. And this is through a special program through ComEd. The total cost of the project was $90,978.66, which was fully covered by ComEd at no cost.
Great.
We tabled the boiler maintenance agreement. The technology department provided their report, and the meeting was adjourned at 4:28 p.m. Approval of the minutes from the Finance Committee.
So moved.
Second.
Call roll, please.
Mr. Whittington.
Aye.
Ms. Cameron.
And it was unanimous as always.
There are 3 action items. The first item is the committee recommends approval of the final levy resolution.
So moved. Second.
And surprise, surprise, they vote for all those resolutions. Unanimous, no questions, increase our taxes.
Call roll, please.
Ms. Cameron.
Aye.
Second.
Mr. Whittington. Motion carried.
All right, and there's no report for personnel.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Hey, policy. ISB. I think there's a report.
Yeah, and the other members, they don't speak into their mics. You can't hear them.
Conference and everything was voted on to be approved.
At least Dr. Nichols spoke into her mic. Thank you for that, Dr. Nichols.
Parent Advisory Committee.
Yes, we met on November 13. The meeting started at 10:55. The team reviewed the district's 5-year strategic plan along with the mission vision, emphasizing that teaching and learning plays a central part in moving the district forward. Ms. Kelsick provided an update on pre-K and birth to 3 enrollment, noting current numbers and available spots, and shared information about the recruitment process. She also expressed interest in partnering up with the parent attendance monitors on parent events, and they will work together so they could be more cohesive.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Sounds nice, but nothing, huge, crazy there.
Coordinators and the early childhood program and brainstorm marketing strategies, including brochures, social media, event tables, and district-wide pre-K and birth to 3 events. Ms. Lester reviewed upcoming parent advisory committees, highlighting the importance of parent voice, ownership, and visibility. Mr. Whittington emphasized providing parents and advisory committees with needed materials and resources. Dr. Trejo shared an update on the 21st Century Grant, which will help fund with some of these initiatives if we receive it. Some of the closing goals include that each.
Oh my God, sorry, that was boring, and it's still loading. Okay, let's see. Yeah, they talked about the educational foundation gala.
Increase collaboration with the birth.
Okay. We accept those minutes as written.
Second.
Question?
Mr. Whittington?
Aye.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, you guys. This is buffering like this. It's driving me nuts. And you can't hear Linda.
We have a meeting, we have a daily schedule for February 21st, 2026 at the Ottawa Country Club. And looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, she was just talking about the educational foundation gala again. Where does all that money go that they raise? That's what I want to know.
This year, the staff members.
Oh, and if you guys stick around till the end, I have a bonus. You get to see Mayor Clark dancing. So stick around to the end for that. This damn video, if it finishes buffering. But yeah, I think that was about it. They didn't have any FOIA requests, right? Yeah, nothing else is really too crazy that I saw. It's just my public comment. So let me see if I can actually skip to that. And hopefully it won't take 5 days to buffer. Okay, there's my public comment. Okay. Hang in there with me, guys. Hang in there. Oh my God, it's still buffering. Come on, y'all. Come on.
No, any questions or concerns from the board?
Here we go. Hi. Yeah, I just had a few questions for. My name is Ryan Simbowski. Thanks, Beth. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate your solidarity and your support. Last time I mentioned. Okay, let's see. Give it a moment. Let's see if it will load without buffering. Come on, guys. Come on, y'all. All right, try this again. I think 2 times so far the meeting conflict time. So I just wanted to know when that the board meeting times would be changed so that they don't conflict with the city council times, because of the extraordinary situation with the city of Harvey being shut down, et cetera, et cetera. You know, normally I wouldn't be here because we would all be at the city council meeting, but they're, you know, there was no meeting. But I think that, you know, it's still important. That should be changed so people, there should not be that conflict. Another big question is, what is the
Let me answer
tax?
that question before you go.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Make a call to the superintendent.
So if you understood that, again, my question was, I've said this now 3 times in public comment. Why are we still having school board meetings scheduled as the same night as city council meetings? That is not, that conflict doesn't need to happen. They only meet once a month. City council only meets twice a month. They know better. Okay, yeah, because, you know, even if it's changed to a Tuesday or something, you know, because there are only so many. And Janet Rogers, the board president, said something like, talk to the superintendent. So we'll see. I'll shoot him an email and we'll see. But it's not rocket science, people. Just pick a day, it doesn't conflict. Many boards in Harvey, so it shouldn't, you know, we should be able to resolve that easily. My question about the tax levy is, what is the levy for 2026 versus 2025 as far as the percentage, and then how much has it increased? And then my other. So again, asking about the tax levy, I think Ms. Rogers does interrupt to say something here. The other question is. Well, she said to answer that question. I appreciate the energy, right, or the maybe attempt to try to answer the questions. She doesn't really answer my questions, but I mean, I guess it's better than maybe like at the township where they just totally ignore, or the city of Harvard, they just totally ignore your questions. Yes.
I know it's 3.6%, but I don't have the exact number.
Okay, so you can't hear Dana Nichols, but she said 3.6%. So I believe she's saying that's how much the taxes are going to go up next year. But you know, it's like every year they just keep getting higher and higher and higher. We need to go the other way. We need to lower the taxes.
That was in the presentation. That right. It increased according to CPI, but that was in last month's presentation.
Oh, okay, so the levy went up by 3.6%?
The total amount. So it's 2.9% CPI.
Yeah, and then this is where she was saying 2.9%, something, what, CPI, like consumer inflation, something or other? I don't know, but learn to live within your means, guys. Make cuts if necessary. Stop going on expensive trips as a school board. Okay. And then my other question was just to, you know, because if you guys could put that stuff online, that would be great, because
I know a lot of people are asking that. I will try to get around to FOIA. Other people will try to get around to FOIA, but we have our hands full with a very dysfunctional city government right now. So, but it would just be.
Mhm. Oh my God, I apologize.
Nice if it were online, so we didn't have to even bother to FOIA that.
It'll be posted online tomorrow afterwards.
Okay, wonderful.
And again, that's good. Dan Nichols said, "Oh, it'll be posted. That info will be posted online tomorrow after it's passed." But like, it's already voted on. We need to see all this information ahead of time, posted online, with ample opportunity to, digest it and ask questions, and before it's ever voted on.
And in the future, if we can do that before, just so people can know, because obviously we have a crisis right now, as you're well aware, in the township, in Cook County, Illinois in general, people are being crushed by their property taxes. So then my next question is, what can you do? What are you doing as a board to actively actually decrease?
Yeah, this one they didn't have an answer for. I said, "How are you bringing down the property taxes?" Look. Look at Miss Nesbitt's face. She's looking at me like, "Oh, Ryan, we're not going to decrease any taxes. They're only going to go up. We love to buy things."
Our property taxes, and then relates to other questions that I've raised in the past, like eliminating the expensive trips with board members, staying in fancy hotels, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, anything, whether it's small or big.
Yeah, I made comments in the past, critiquing their expensive fancy trips. That the board itself, not teachers, not even administrators, but the school board goes on every year that we pay for.
Can make a big difference to these to all of us taxpayers on our tax bills in Harvey. This district is number 3, so we pay the city first, then 205, then this board, and I will be paying 205 a visit as well. But without.
Sorry, that didn't come across very clearly. I said I will be paying 205 a visit. 205 board. I don't know if I'm going to make it this month, but yeah, they're out of control too. And we know their president is Miss Nina Graham. Thank you, Beth. They mentioned there were funds in reserve. If funds are in reserve, then why raise the tax rate? Yep, exactly. Yeah, and I know Casey Nesbitt had said that when I was running for this board earlier this year, right? It's again was saying like, why are you guys spending like you're burning the money's burning holes in your pocket? Save. We're getting all sorts of federal grants cut off of the Trump administration. We need to save for rainy days. Stop spending money. On frivolous stuff, on things that don't need to be spent. And then she didn't answer during the meeting at all. But then after the meeting adjourned, then she just said, "Oh, Ryan, we have a surplus. It doesn't matter," or something like that. And it's like, okay, but just because you have a surplus, that means you're just going to spend money any old way with no accountability and no. Anyway, that is why our taxes are so high.
It's just really important, especially a lot of our elderly people. They're this close to losing their homes. I know several that have already sold and moved out. Now, unfortunately, they're not all as vocal as I am, or they're not all going to come to the meetings. But I don't think, especially if you're elderly and you've raised your kids and paid taxes here all these years, you shouldn't have to leave because your taxes are
right. You should not. No one should be forced out of their homes by these high taxes. And people, that's what's happening. And I'm sorry, but the answer is not everybody just moves to Indiana and the problem's fixed. Because eventually the same assholes that are causing the problems here, guess what? They're going to go to Northwest Indiana. So that's not the answer. The bad people will find you wherever you go. You might be able to buy yourself a little more time, maybe, but that's not a long-term solution, running away. We've got to face this stuff head on. Look at the empty seats. This should be full of angry residents saying, these taxes are out of control. Get it together, 152 board, and show us what you're doing to cut expenses.
They're going up. So even if you guys can come down a little bit, I mean, that would make a difference, But like I noticed last year for the 2024 levy, that was higher than, the year before. So it gets up, before.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that's how things are so out of control. So I think those are my main questions.
Puppy,
Yeah, that's
stop
all I got.
snoring.
Thank you.
Any questions that you have?
He's sorry, the dog is snoring. I hope y'all can hear.
Just call over, they'll answer your questions.
Now, again, Miss Rogers says, any questions you have, just call. As in, like, call the office, call the superintendent. They'll answer your questions. I mean, it's good. It's better than a lot of boards, but at the same time, remember, like, at least she's saying something. But these questions need to be answered publicly, not in private conversations. All these things, the information needs to be available, and the questions need to be answered and addressed publicly. And they need to take heed of what the public is saying, and like the things like, for instance, changing so there's no conflict with the meeting dates with the city. You know, this is the third meeting I'm saying this in. Like, I shouldn't have to contact anyone. You've heard me say this before. That's an easy fix. Just do it.
Well, I just wanted to get it publicly on the record because that's really the most important thing.
Any other questions at this time?
Harvey and White, President of HEA. I just want to really give a shout out to Dr. Lawrence and Dr. Trejo for meeting with me in my classroom to discuss and our future.
Okay, so then Norma Young White, who is president of the teachers union, she speaks, and she said, you know, mostly positive things. One thing that, you know, she and I have disagreed on, as far as the taking the trips, you know, I don't mind necessarily teachers even take some of these educational trips that we pay for, but board members, they don't need to go to Las Vegas and stay in fancy hotels for conferences and have us pay for it. Now, if you want to maybe have the taxpayers pay the fees for the actual conference, but then these people, if they really want to go and they're board members, then how about they pay out of their own pocket for their hotel and their food and their plane ticket? And you know what? If they're not willing to do that, then maybe those out of town conferences where they go, you know, New Orleans, where else did they go? Las Vegas. There's another city I'm forgetting, but you know, maybe those conferences aren't that important. And that's how we would be able to tell, because if they weren't willing to pay their own out of their own pocket for it, you know, that's the stuff that we need to cut.
Somebody's doing some hard work. Our students are engaged. Yes, it's like Brooks, never close it. You see, Lawrence at one point asked me, trying to increase student engagement and working on our rigor. So with the new data center, Dr. is ready. I told
Oh my God. Swear to God, this buffering.
we need a fancy table, so we're gonna take the one from her conference. Best through SCL.
Wait, what did she say?
The students are engaged, and those who are not engaged,
Okay.
our best engagers. We're trying to do members of the community. Sometimes they feel disturbed and distressed. Because of the property taxes, of course, I'm one of them. I've been living in here for the past.
Oh, she was saying people get disturbed by property taxes. Yes, let's see what Miss Norma has to say about that.
30 plus years. So I know the struggles. I've seen the boarded up houses. But what can make it better when our schools are better? And yes, we need to go on conferences because that's how we learn.
Oh yeah. So she was saying, you know, but we need our school. Our schools can be good while actually being accountable to how they spend money, though. So that's where again we disagree. You don't just get a blank check from the community because we can't afford that. That's why people are losing their homes. And if people are losing their homes, and so you have fewer people in homes, fewer people paying taxes, that's less money for the school district. So it becomes a negative downward spiral, right? We want an upward spiral where things, where the taxes are reduced so they're reasonable. So we have more people moving to town. We have more people paying taxes. So then the taxes, hopefully they can keep going down, or at the very least stay the same, and the level of services grows, right? Like they're not even in that realm. It's always just about, we want more money, 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 money. No, show us what you're doing with the money you have first. Live within your means.
One more step and then I'm done. Thank you, for the hard work that we're doing. And we look forward to our first person to hear.
Thank you, John White. Just hit on time, 3 seconds left.
You trained me well.
Okay. Thank you so much. Any other questions, concerns?
Okay. And that's about it. Because also this oh, you okay? Scared the dog. This loading whatever delay is driving me freaking crazy. So that was it. They went into executive session and then I did not stay. Okay, so that's it. Now, one thing I wanted to share with you guys though that I think is just absolutely ridiculous, but you have to see, and you're not going to believe it until you say, well, you probably, I guess maybe would believe it, but I want to show you something here. But let me first. No, go back to that. And Beth says the board needs to care about the taxes citizens are paying. Exactly. We want good schools, but if the taxes just keep going up and up and up, and we don't even know where the money's going, that's not good. So what do you notice? 152 does that. City of Harvey, Thornton Township, Dalton. So many of our public boards are doing this. It's a common problem. That is one of the reasons why we've got to keep up with our activism. So please, people, come to meetings. Everybody's busy. Make time. They're taking your money. You need to hold them accountable to make sure they're spending it on things that you find important and that they're not wasting it. Sorry, folks, just give me 1 second. Oh, that's. Oh, you know what? Wait, I think I know a way. Maybe I can fix it. Maybe, what if I just do. Ooh, stop. Oh, not that much. No, maybe I will do it. No, don't want that. That maybe? Come on. Okay, I wanted to show you this. Take a look at this. Yes, exactly. We must keep them accountable. Yep, I absolutely agree. Okay, so after the meeting, Diana, or sorry, when they go to the executive session, we didn't stay long. Diana, Beth, and I left. There were still some people, in there, but take a look at the vehicles that we see in the parking lot. Remember, we're getting priced out of our homes because of these high taxes. And look what kind of vehicle. Ooh. Reserved for school board president. This is Janet Rogers, Tyrone Rogers, who's an alderman for the city. And the city also doesn't keep track of its finances. It's horrible with money. She's driving a nice Cadillac SUV there, parked in her spot right there. Okay. Then we have. Oh, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Check out the superintendent. What kind of car do you think our superintendent would have? Remember, we are a high poverty community. We're a Title One district. Okay, so we get a lot of help because we have such high poverty rates, right? So of course, our superintendent should be paid modestly, right? You know, you think he maybe he should be driving a sensible Toyota Camry or something, right? What do you think? Guess. What do you think? What kind of car do you think he has? All right, here you go. See if you're right. Superintendent of schools. He was the black gentleman that was sitting basically kind of right in front of me on the panel. He didn't actually it was surprising. He didn't really say anything. I just realized it was Dr. Nichols who does the finances. Yeah, the superintendent, Dr. Lawrence, didn't say anything. But anyway, he's driving a big old fancy Porsche. Okay. Hello. This is a Title One school district. Do you see? That's where our money goes. I'm sorry. No, honey. No, sweetheart. You get a nice, sensible Toyota Camry, okay? So if this is the kind of people that we're attracting, as superintendents, no, I'd rather have something. I'd rather have someone who's more down to earth, pick a teacher leader to be superintendent, you know, than someone who's high paid and anyway. It just goes to show you where the values of this board are totally off. So now, if you thought that was extreme, don't worry, we're not done yet. And stay tuned because, like I said, at the end, I'm going to show you the videos of dancing Chris Clark. You guys are going to freak out when you see that. Okay, so we saw the Porsche, right? Whoop. I didn't mean to do that one. How do I? So the camera, Chevy SUV, yeah. I mean, just just something. But and this is not just Harvey, by the way. This happens in a lot of school districts where we've just gotten ourselves into this mindset that it's like where people are treating schools like private corporations, where it's like all about for profit and flashiness and just lots of money, money, money. No, it should be about education. Yes, pay people a fair wage, but does your superintendent need to make $250,000? No, like all those salaries, in my opinion. The salaries of your public works people should match the salaries that people are making in the community or something that they should make, like about average or median, so okay, superintendent wants to make maybe 100,000, maybe 150 at the most. I'm sorry, they don't need any more. And if people are like, well, they're not going to work for that much. Okay, well then maybe the people that we're picking are going into that kind of work for the wrong reason, and most districts are too admin heavy anyway. So that's a whole other issue. Assistant superintendent. We've got a sensible, I don't know, I'll say Ford Escort. They don't even make Ford Escorts anymore, like a Ford Focus or something. I don't know, whatever, or a minivan. No, we have a BMW SUV. Okay. And that's not even, and first of all, I'm like, well, wait, why is there an assistant superintendent? So what is the superintendent doing? Like, why do we need all these administrative jobs? So anyway, so that's that. And then, wait, did I take any more? Hold on. Oh, yes. And then the last one. Sorry. Give me 1 second here, y'all. Give me 1 second here, guys. Where's it up there? Okay. So then we have another assistant superintendent, and then we have the director of special services. Okay, like special ed and stuff. So what do you want to take a guess for the kind of cars they have? No, this isn't like, I'm not saying they're driving Ferraris or anything, but still, this is just a little gives you a little hint into why our schools are why we have such excessive expenses. So one assistant superintendent has an Infiniti SUV, and one has a Tesla. Again, I'm not saying pay people, I'm not saying to pay people, peanuts or something that's not fair. Pay them a fair wage. But do you see? Then when you have our property taxes going up and up and up and up and up, and there are a lot of administrators in this district, and the administrator salaries are really high. No. That means people's priorities are off, and it's about paying, their buddies and there's too much cronyism. Like, let's focus on keeping things affordable and providing good services. That's what any government agency should do. It shouldn't be about making enough money so that you can have a luxury car. It doesn't. All these jobs are supposed to be public service. Service. Let's not have our public boards be run like private corporations. They're not the role model. They're horrible. Corporations, they would work if we didn't have just some of the basic laws that we have. I mean, corporations would be employing your 5-year-old daughter would be working at Walmart, like slaving away for $7 an hour. Like, I hope you guys realize this. Like, this stuff goes way deep. Okay, it goes way deep as far as into like what kind of society do we want? Yeah, they need to care about how much citizens pay for taxes. Correct, right? What kind of society do you want? Do you want a society that's run based on profit is the number one thing? God, I hope not. That's all I have to say. Like, God, I hope not, because that's not the kind of society that I want. Mm-mm. Okay, are you guys? So yeah, any questions, comments about that meeting? Then we're gonna go on to what I promised. Hang on. The super producer Kim. Whoop, I should tell her right now. Hold on. So go check out All in the Q's channel. Give her some like, subscribe, shares, and love, as well as me, please. Like, share, subscribe. Brian's Gay Chicago. I still haven't posted my Patreon. I need to do that. I would love to have some Patreon supporters to be able to cover more of this local stuff. But you all are you ready? Are you ready for this video? Are you ready for this video of Mayor Clark? Get ready. Y'all are gonna crack up. Okay, so there's this girl. Apparently, Mayor Clark was with Jedediah Brown, and they're in Philadelphia with this young lady who has a TikTok. Her name's Itty Bitty Tiff, which is fine. She has some funny videos. But look at this. We thought this was AI at first. It is not. It is not. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready for this? Why didn't we have a city council meeting? Where's our mayor? Oh, he's in Philadelphia partying with Jedediah Brown. What? I told her get up on her feet. She get the way she get the move. It got me. Come on, baby, I'll let that play a few times, okay? I think this is real. I don't think this is AI.
Sturdy young and I can hop on any beat and get the. I told her get up on her feet, she get the way she get the move, it got me. Come on, baby, you got it.
You're the mayor of a city. You've been mayor for 6 years. You and your allies control the city council. You shut down the city, aspired in October almost half of city staff. We have fires we had 2 fires this weekend alone that broke out right near my house. We have almost no firefighters, very few police. He's canceling meetings. The Mayor Clark. He's not even in town. We're supposed to be having a city council meeting tonight. He's in Pennsylvania. Yeah, in Philly. Exactly, Beth. Why? I have no idea. He's not alone. Are you ready for more? Hang on to your seat. Hang on to your seat, you guys. You know you're not going to believe this. Don't believe it until you see it. Hold on. I got to find the other one. Ooh. Now I've yet to verify this, so I'm not sure. But I was told that the gentleman that you see in this video, well, you see Itty Bitty Tiff, but the other lady, I don't know who she is, but then the other gentleman, that this is the guy that was involved with that Turlington Homes group in the last city council meeting, where against the protests of residents and some aldermen, they voted to basically give city parcels to this group that were like, this must be affiliated with the mayor or someone, because they had just started the business, and then they're giving them properties already. So someone said that this is one of the guys involved with that group. I still have to verify that, but either way, it's pretty crazy. So I'm going to show you that, just to show you another video so you can see what they're doing. Oop. Sorry, can you see it? No, I didn't add it to the stage. Yeah, he canceled 3 meetings so far, all November, first meeting in December, and like, dude, you can't hide out. You made this crisis, like, while we're suffering. So anyway, here's more Clark's buddies partying in Philly.
Who's next?
Okay. Oh,
Trying to set me
up.
Maybe I'm just paranoid. I think these bitches trying to set me up. Maybe I'm just paranoid. I think these bitches trying to set me up. Maybe I'm just paranoid.
What are they doing in Pennsylvania?
Maybe. Can I be yelling out gang gang? Do you gang bang? I be. I think these bitches trying to set. Can I be yelling out gang gang? Do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang gang. Chunk your gang signs if you gang bang. I be outside with my gang. I'm from the deuce. Can I be yelling out gang gang? Do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang gang. Chunk your gang signs if you gang bang. I be outside with my gang. I'm from the deuce. Can I be yelling out gang gang? Do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang.
Jedediah and his monkey. So, at least for the moment, we know where our MIA, our AWOL Mayor Clark is, along with his associate Jedediah Brown. They were hanging out in Philly with this young lady. So yes. So remember how Jedediah denies he's working with the mayor. Well, seems like they're definitely helping each other to avoid any sort of accountability and trying to help the city. So So anyway, I hope you enjoyed those. I hope you enjoyed the little recap of the 152 meeting. As far as what is upcoming, let me let you know. It is not the craziest week, as far as stuff that's busy, but it's still pretty crazy. Whoop. Okay. Four p.m. tomorrow, 69 West Washington, floor 22, room G. They will have the hearing for objections to Napoleon Harris's petitions to get on the ballot for township supervisor. I think Keith Price had posted that Stephanie Wiedemann was officially, approved to be on the ballot. So we'll see. I mean, it's well documented. Again, Napoleon doesn't live in the township. And then there are also Keith Price and I think Michael Smith are alleging that he didn't have the proper, he didn't do his petitions properly either. I don't know the details of that, but we definitely know it's very, very well documented that Napoleon doesn't live in the township. Based on that alone, he shouldn't be able to run for these positions. It's crazy. Let's see, I believe then also this Wednesday, we're going to have a Harvey Neighborhood Network meeting. If you're a Harvey resident, you're interested in that, send me a message. I can tell you more. It's a group that we're planning a lot of, oh, hey, on the queue. I just played your video. So yes, I wanted to give a special shout. Well, I already did, Miss Kimberly, if you just came, I don't know if you heard it, but yeah, I told people to go to your channel, give you some likes and subscribes and follows, and to thank you for doing the research and actually finding out where our mayor has been hiding out in Philly with Jedediah Brown and his monkey and doing, I don't know who, as Harvey's burning, and we have no staff to take care of the city. I guess Mayor Clark's in Philly. So thank you for at least temporarily tracking him down, So, and you said it's fine. Thank you. You're doing great reporting. Oh, thank you. You as well. You are invaluable. The Lansing Journal, Harvey World Herald. Who else? Harvey Chronicle. HF Chronicle. Other YouTubers. Diana, she came to the board meeting tonight. Thank you, Diana, so much for coming. Thank you, Beth, for coming. If I'm forgetting anybody, don't take it personally. I'm sorry. I'm just saying stuff off the top of my head. But everybody, if everybody can just do a little bit, do their part, come to meetings, speak up, post on social media. If you're like, me or Kimberly or Diana, you like to do your own videos, great. If you don't, that's okay. Like, you don't have to we're not asking one person to do everything to make our lives better, to make our local government boards better. We're asking every person to do something. So find something that you like, something where you feel you can make a difference and engage, reach out to me, contact all in the queue, reach out to Beth, reach out to Diana, reach out to whomever you like or you feel comfortable with, and maybe try going to a meeting, try doing a FOIA request. You can try, I'll put in the link again to the petition for, to ask Clark to resign and for a forensic audit, try that. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. Do something maybe you've never done. Maybe if you've gone to public meetings and you feel comfortable with that, write out just even one or two things that you want to say for public comment and make yourself do it. I'll always encourage you. I felt really bad. I saw some posts from a lady in Dalton who went through some really bad things this weekend and felt that she has not been getting the support from the Dalton community and Dalton police, you know. And so stuff, especially when I see stuff like that, it's like, oh no, we all have to come together. You know, I don't want to see people bullied and harassed. Um, and try to have that love and compassion for your neighbor, because you might say, well, you know, nobody beat me up, or nobody was trying to harass me or arrest me or give me a ticket or whatever, so I'm not going to say anything. But remember, if you don't say anything, eventually they're going to come after you, and then the people that were maybe more outspoken first, they're not going to be there to help you or to protect you. So we are all in this together, so just find some way that you can help, you know, to hold these boards accountable, so we can all have a better life. You know, we deserve it. And so we don't get taxed out of our homes. Crazy. So the NAPO objections are tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'm going to do my best. I have to go to the city for something and just do, you know, a few different things. So I'm going to try to get to cover that. If not, I know the Lansing Journal will be there. But again, Napoleon doesn't live in the township, guys. That's nothing new. Harvey Neighborhood Network for Harvey residents is Wednesday at 6. If you're interested, let me know. Don't forget your property taxes are due, I believe, December 15th. I know I shared that last night or the other night, but don't forget. Let's see, what did you ask? Where are they being held? The objection hearing is, okay, so it's 4 p.m. tomorrow at 69 West Washington, floor 22, room G. So if you are interested in that, I will, I'll actually should I put it in the chat? I'll write it out too. So I'll say NIPO of 69 West Washington. Floor 22, room G. So don't forget to pay your property taxes. Harvey water bills are also due, I believe, December 15th. And remember, because the mayor doesn't care and he's apparently partying with Jedediah and who knows who else in Philadelphia, you know, just to pay your water bill now. I think last time I was there for at least an hour waiting in line because they just don't care, these people. So pay your water bill, pay your property taxes. I believe Vivian has maybe on the queue can confirm. I thought Vivian had a hearing going on Friday. I have a hearing next week regarding Jedediah and his harassment. There's a township meeting next week, December 16th, Tuesday. I believe it's 7 p.m., but we can confirm as it gets closer. My court is Thursday the 18th. And then Amir has his hearing on Friday the 19th. Colby Chapman, alderwoman here in Harvey, is hosting a Christmas event. If you would like to volunteer or donate or attend, you can volunteer, I believe, to help wrap and prepare Friday night before the event. It'll be held at the Thornton Township High School field house, it's a great, you know, really big space, plenty of room. Lots. And then the actual event will be 10 to 2 on Saturday. So I think they may be still looking for volunteers, you know, or at least you could just come out and say hello. Yeah, it's also my birthday. And they were supposed to have another city council meeting on the 22nd, but how much you want to bet it's not going to happen? How much you want to bet it ain't going to happen? Yeah, I thought maybe there was one more thing, you guys. Let me just make sure I'm not forgetting to bring anything up. Okay, no, not that. It's also really cold out there. Stay warm. Big thank you to Diana for coming out. Yes. Love, thank you. I know I was like, where is she? She usually will catch the stream, but she seems tired tonight, so maybe she was just beat, which I totally understand. Okay, no, I guess that's it. Like I said, I still feel like I'm sort of forgetting something, but okay, guys. Maybe was it something related to Clark? Let me see if I had any. Yeah, because last night we talked about the that fundraiser dinner for the organization that calls themselves the Chamber of Commerce, but they're not really the Chamber of Commerce, right? I think we talked about that last night. That's a whole thing in and of itself. Exit out of there. Oh, my goodness, my goodness. Oh, that's right. You know what? We have a new. There's a gentleman who is running for U.S. Rep in the 2nd District. I believe he is a Flossmoor resident. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Oh, it's 30 minutes. Okay, sorry. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but yeah, at some point I will check it out and maybe we'll have him on the show. His name is Patrick J. Keating. I'll just give you guys kind of a preview so you can see. Because he did reach out to me today. Now, told us I just have seen his post recently, and I haven't really spoken with him, but just to kind of give you a little bit of a preview. So this is someone else that wants to throw their hat in the ring. This is the seat that Jesse Jackson Jr. is running for again. I mean, he's the biggest name in the race. Yumika Brown's also running for, and I do not support her because she voted time and time again to displace our residents on Myrtle and didn't respond when we asked, to reach out to her.
Or government operates. Patrick is serious about governing, not performative fighting. Patrick wants to restore Congress's intended role of accountability.
Okay.
I'm grateful he's chosen.
So he's like introducing him.
100 signatures on my nominating petitions. And sometimes by blocking people from getting to their trains, sometimes by begging them. And it was, I can't thank her enough. And thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
With a complete lack of civility and viewing people across the aisle as the 80% of us are not paying real close attention to this. We're not on Twitter. Generous financial aid policies, district petition for prices. So other people can argue evidence-based legislative solutions where we can seed grant money to programs that.
Okay, so we'll have to check. I'll have to check out more of that. I just don't have patience right this moment. But this is, like I said, I think he said he was a Flossmoor resident. Let's see here. This is his page. PJK, Patrick Keating for Congress. In the Democratic primary, he's running. Okay. I just wanted to see if he had like a short little, just like a blurb about some of his points. Oh, okay. Okay. So it sounds like he may be against the Safety Act, or at least may want some reforms to it. Okay. Yeah, anyway. Well, sorry, I don't see anything. What's that? Oh, his father's a detective. But yeah, I don't see anything that just has like a quick summary of his, of his platform. Oh, that was the lady that was burned in Chicago. Okay. Okay. Oh, and it said that hold on one second. I think Paul Roberts commented on something. Oh, okay. This is relevant. Okay. So I will share this with you guys. Paul had a question about the meeting tonight. So he said, because I forgot, wait, was this on my post or because I created an event? I forget. But anyway, I talked, I told people, hey, they want to increase the taxes, like come to the meeting. And then Paul said, did anyone on that school board attempt to answer any of your questions? Were you the only resident asking questions? I'll say, oh Lord, I'll say, Janet Rogers directed me to speak with the district staff to answer my questions, which was not what I wanted. And then sadly, I was the only resident there to ask questions. I don't think most people understand how powerful their voices are when it comes to these boards. If the room had been filled with angry residents, this board would have thought twice before increasing our taxes. Again, because remember, it increased our taxes from the 23 to 24 tax year increased. And which group was that in? Chicago South End Politics. Okay. Yeah, good question, Paul. And I'm sorry. I wish it were not that way, so. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining. Have a wonderful evening, and we will talk soon. Au revoir. Bonne nuit. And thanks to who stopped in, Beth, on the queue, super producer, Diana, and I'm sure some other people have been lurking in the background that didn't comment. So thanks to everybody. Au revoir.